Okay, boss. So all of you can put your video also on, boss. Please put your video also on. Very well. Sai Teja Prabhu Hemant, have your video also on. Yeah. So I think the reincarnation part must have got over. Reincarnation 1 and reincarnation 2. So now we are going to discuss the one very wonderful pastime from Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's a wonderful pastime from Srimad Bhagavatam. Mm, yes. Yeah. So this is a case of reincarnation where Bharat Maharaj he had undergone like two more lifetimes and eventually perfects. So very nicely the whole thing is explained. A lot of lessons from this past thing. So we'll go through with this. Let's see. Yeah. So can you read the text? One of you can read the text. The storyline is given. Just can you read it?
Once the world was ruled by a very wise and experienced king named Maharaja Bharata. After ruling the world for many long years, being aware of the ultimate goal of life, he renounced everything that is dear to one's heart, his queen, family, and his vast empire, and went to the place called Pulashkram Shrama in
Pulaha
foot
Ashram.
Pula Ashram.
Pulaha Ashram.
Pulaha Ashram in foothills of Himalayas for pursuing his spiritual career. There he lived alone in the forest along the bank of Gandaki River.
Gandaki.
Gandaki River. Each morning, Bharata worshipped the Supreme Lord by chanting the hymns given in the Rig Veda. Later in the day, he collected various fruits and roots, and as recommended in the Vedic scriptures, he offered these simple edibles to Lord Krishna, and then took him as his meals.
Took
By his
them.
con-
Then took them as his means.
took them as his meals. By his constant meditation upon the personality of Godhead, Bharata began to experience symptoms of spirituality ecstasy.
Yeah. So you can see how Bharat Maharaj, he was a very great king. He was the emperor and very wise and everything. So then at a young age itself, he left everything, his kingdom, which includes and even his queen and family and everything. And he went to Kulashrama to perform devotional service, perform austerity and devotional service to perfect his life. That was his intention. Because he was knowing the goal of life. So he wanted to do that. And he was engaging in worship of Lord Vishnu, offering fruits and roots and everything, and taking that as prasadam. And he was constantly meditating on the Supreme Lord. So this is what the situation of Bharat Maharaj. Amazing, right? Just imagine, no? He's like he's a king of entire world, and he leaves. And it is said how he left. It is said, no, Malavat, Uttama Shloka Lalasa. For Uttama Shloka Lalasa, for the sake of the Supreme Lord, for attaining the Supreme Lord, he left the entire kingdom, his wife and kinsmen and everything. Just like somebody who passes through and doesn't care about what he has left behind. He doesn't even care. He just flush it up. Same way he left everything. Malavat, and he came out of entire situation in which he was, and he went to perform for a devotional service to attain the Lord. This is amazing, and he was actually worshipping and everything. Right? So nice. So, what is the answer? Purpose of Bharata going to Kulashrama was?
To pursue a spiritual career by worshipping Supreme
Hmm.
Lord to attain love. C.
Yeah, that was the purpose. Correct. Purpose was not just to renounce and all that. Purpose was to attain the Lord, not to take a break, not to meditate and meditate. The purpose was to attain the Lord. Okay, next devotee can read, and you can put your video also on. That'd be nice. Yes.
Bharata gives shelter to a deer.
Are
One
you
day
are
while
you
Bharata
are
was
you are you in position to put video on? Sir? Is it possible?
Prabhu, I'm coming to temple. I'm on the street now.
Okay, okay. Yes.
Bharata gives shelter to a deer. One day while Bharata was meditating near the bank of the river, a doe came where came there to drink water. While she drank water with fearful eyes, a lion nearby in the forest roared loudly. As the pregnant doe fled in fear and jumped across the river, a baby deer fell from her womb into the swiftly flowing waters. The mother deer, trembling in fright, weakened and pained by the miscarriage, entered a cave where she soon died. As the sage Bharata observed the baby deer floating helplessly down the river, he felt great compassion. Bharata lifted the animal from the water and, knowing it to be motherless, brought it to his ashrama. Because Bharata was self-realized, he saw all living beings with equal vision. He fed the deer with fresh green grass daily and tried to make it comfortable.
Hmm. The Bharata lifted the animal from the water,
Floating air from the
knowing
water
it to be.
and brought it to his ashram because
Wait a minute. So Bharata lifted the animal from the water, and knowing it to be motherless, brought it to his ashram. So he brought
yeah,
it to ashram because he's feeling compassionate, and he was seeing everybody's equal vision. So he fed the deer with fresh green grass daily and tried to make it comfortable, like that he was trying to. Yes. Now the question is, Bharata lifted the helplessly floating deer from the water and brought it to ashrama because.
option B,
Hmm?
option C.
Hmm. It's natural for any saintly person to feel compassionate for suffering souls. Hmm. He was self-realized to see all living beings, spiritual children of God. What about this?
Yeah, I think A.
Hmm. And what about
Yeah,
B?
because third
Mother,
last line you can see because Bharata was self-realized and see all beings equal vision.
yeah. And what about B? Its mother though had died, leaving the child though an orphan. That also is true, no? All three can be true. Yeah. So
Yeah.
for all these reasons, he brought the dove to the ashram. So till now, what do you feel? Is it he's going good? Is he going good? Now see the third next. Read ahead. Where is Siddharth Prabhu? Is he going to join
Bharata
also?
becomes he is not in BYS. Is he in bathroom? Where is Siddharth?
He's in washroom. I don't know.
Okay.
Prabhu, actually, I came from temple. I don't know.
So you came from temple to here for class, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. But who was supposed to give class?
Actually, it was, I think, decided just before I reached temple.
I think
Oh,
Manmohan Cham.
I don't know, Prabhu.
Manmohan Shampoo, what happened?
I think
He
Manmohan
went
Cham.
to Swayambhu
Yeah.
BYS.
Mohammed Prabhu, what are you saying?
I think Manmohan Sham Prabhu was taking the class, but then it got reversed. Prabhu went to Swayambhu Vivadas and
Oh, but Narada, somebody was decided before.
no.
Hmm. Okay, so yes, Prabhu, we can read further. Hemal Prabhu.
Bharata becomes attached to the deer and neglects spiritual life. Soon, however, he began to develop great attachment for the deer. He laid down with it, walked with it, bathed with it, and even ate with it. When he wanted to enter the forest to collect fruits, flowers, and roots, he would take the deer with him, fearing that if he left it behind, it would be killed by dogs, jackals, or tigers. Bharata took great pleasure seeing the deer live and frolic in the forest like a child. Sometimes he would carry the deer on his shoulders. When he slept, the deer would rest upon his chest and would sometimes even kiss it. Thus, this heart became bound by affection of the deer. Being attached to raising the deer, Bharata
Affection
gradually
for the
became
deer.
neglectful. Affection, yeah, affection for the deer. Being attached to raising the deer, Bharata gradually became neglectful of his meditation upon the Supreme Lord. He thus became distracted from the path of self realization, which is the actual goal of human life.
You can see
The
how Bharat
Vedas,
Maharaj is worshipping and is looking at the deer. You can see the picture.
yes,
In the picture also you can see how he is doing worship, but he is looking at deer. He's putting some ahuti or something, you see, but distracted, watching something.
yes.
Something like we are chanting and then watching the mobile. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Something similar, correct? So, yes, yes.
He thus became distracted from the path of self realization, which is the actual goal of human life. The Vedas remind us that the human form is obtained only after the soul undergoes millions of births in lower spaces of life.
Yeah.
Question.
So now you tell me what was the problem? Where the problem began?
He attached to
Was that wrong for Bharat Maharaj to save the deer? Was that wrong?
saving deer, I think, was correct, but attaching to the deer is wrong.
Okay, he saved is fine. Okay. After saving, then he brought the deer to the ashram. Was that okay?
No,
Okay. And then after bringing to the ashram, what he was doing?
he was sleeping with him,
Hmm?
That was okay.
eating with him, sleeping with him,
And
and also he was kissing him.
and
And
what else?
he was treating deer like his child.
Yeah. See, he was completely, yeah, he rests upon his chest, and he would always be anxious about deer. He should not be left here and there. Everything. So he'd take him everywhere where he would go. You would take bath with him, you'd walk with him, you'd eat with him, everything you do. So much he developed great attachment for the deer, you see. So this is how sometimes you see in our life also there may be some things like we are also trying to follow a spiritual path, right? We have come to Krishna consciousness. So we have come with some determination to go back to Godhead. Some determination we carry. But while practicing Krishna consciousness also, we may sometimes get attached to something which may become detrimental for our spiritual life. That may happen. And we may carry some kind of distractions with us. And we may not even understand also. Like Bharat Maharaj is not understanding. He's not able to get it, you see. So Now see, he's worshipping, but he's looking at something. Like you're chanting and you're looking at mobile. You're chanting, you're looking at notice board. You're doing sightseeing. Chanting is going on. So there are different kinds of distractions which we may carry along with us. Correct? Sometimes we become so attached to mobile and then we want to see it again and again. Right? WhatsApp came or WhatsApp SMS came or what. No. So literally you can see devotees sometimes. They're having the chat bead bag in one hand, mobile in the other hand. Sometimes they do like this also. Typical scene in fact. Like this also they will do sometimes. Mobile is here and they will do something like that. Or they will chanting and they will be looking at mobile. Very good. So that
But
that is
Prabhu,
like something.
I think attachment to deer, I don't think so anything wrong in this, but he was distracted from the path of self-realization. That was the mistake, right?
Yeah, but that attachment to deer became the problem, I think. Because when
Okay, so
you're attached to something material, then automatically that will become the distraction. It's a natural, So keeping the deer that led to attachment eventually. So
so
that's why
is it possible to being attached and not distract?
no, it's not possible. It's not possible. Because once you're attached, then you want to. What is the meaning of detachment? Detachment means what? If it is not helping you, then you won't do that. Correct. No? So, the nature of anything, if you're attached to, then that your mind again and again goes there. That is the problem. So, ultimately, one has to become detached so that he can focus on his spiritual life. One has to focus on his spiritual life. So, first lesson is that, as you rightly said, the Bharat Maharaj would have not brought only the deer to the ashram. That thing is the first thing he could have done. Now, why he should have not brought to the ashram? What could be the reason that he brought to the ashram? What he must have thought? Tell me. That time he was not attached. He just brought it to the ashram. But what was his feeling? Can you think about it?
He must be thinking he saved someone's life.
Yeah. So he was thinking, okay, this deer, without me, if I don't bring it to the ashram with me, then somebody may attack him or something. Correct, no?
Dog or tiger.
Yeah, correct. So he was feeling like, so that's why I'll protect. So now tell me what way he could have thought, and he would have not brought to the ashram, but he would have he's already saved the life, and he could have just helped the deer further. So what thought process should have been there as a devotee? Yes.
He might have he should have find some other group of deers and then leave him near them or something like that.
Yeah, correct. Some other group of deers may be there. He could have just left him. Fine. But what thought process he should have had so that he will not unnecessarily get into the thought of, okay, I have to bring it to the ashram. What is the right way of thinking?
Spiritual
That
life should be focused. He should be focused on spiritual life.
Yeah, that is true. But now he is thinking, but if I don't bring the deer to my home, then the deer may have so much of dangers. He's thinking that. So what way he could have avoided? Yes. Suppose you're preaching, and in preaching there is some Mataji. She is becoming very interested, and she says, "I want to get regular teachings from you. Can you take daily class for me? Something like that. Can you please guide me regularly?" She says like that. Like I also want to take regular guidance, one on one. I want to ask questions. So now you may think that, oh, it is very important because spiritual life. Ultimately, I want to help her only. So what should be your thought process by which you can say no to that? And you may do some justice to it. You may say, no, I cannot. So what should be your thought process? because you're compassionate, now you want to give mercy. You may want to say, okay, please, anytime you can just come and we can have discussion. I can teach you more and more. You can always say. But you may have to say no. Why you should say no?
You might not be that qualified.
Huh?
We might not be that qualified to please.
Yeah, we may not be like Narad Muni, who is preaching to Kayadu or somebody like that. Yeah, so
Who has
basically,
self-control?
huh?
Who has self-control?
Yeah,
All our
even
things.
if you feel that you are very self-controlled sage, still it is not the right etiquette that you cultivate one-on-one some girl. You may not do that, some Mataji. Then what you can do, you may, as you said, that you may connect it to some other Matajis. You may do that. Correct or not? You may give the number of some other Mataji. Okay? So you can ask her, she can guide you. And what way you can think, how you can think, what way you should think by which you can, you don't feel unnecessary, so much of guilt, I am not able to guide further or something. Yes? What with Bharat Maharaj? You have to console Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj, no worry. No need to bring it to Ashram. So you just think like this. What you should say? Think like what he should think. You could have thought that Krishna will protect. I did my part. Now further, Krishna will protect. No. You getting this point? अरे कृष्णा भी है ना कि नहीं उसके लिए अभी तक वो कैसे वो इसकी हिरण की माँ और हिरण वो सब कैसे जी रहे हैं तो इतने सारे हिरण हैं जंगल में सबको प्रोटेक्ट करने का वो चलना रखा है उन्होंने अपना किंगडम छोड़ दिया प्रभु वो अपने वाइफ और बच्चों को प्रोटेक्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं सोचो आप he has left his wife and children with the conviction that Krishna will protect them, Krishna will take care of them at his young youth. And here for deer he is not able to think that Krishna will protect. He's thinking, no, I only have to protect. You getting what I'm saying? You getting? So he could have saved. That was the duty. There's nothing wrong with that because it was a crisis, emergency. But after saving, he could have understood. Array, I have left my kingdom and wife and children. No, depending on God, depending on Lord. And this deer who's in the jungle, no, he also should be dependent on the Lord. He could have put in the nice, safe situation, where deer he could have, like as some of you suggested, some other, deer group, he could have maybe left him there or something like that. And that way he could have just come back to Purashram and continue his meditation. Correct? But he did not do that. He became overly protective about the deer and he brought it to ashram also. That was a kind of some mistake, right? Okay, even if it had brought to the ashram, maybe after 1-2 days he could have just left or something. But again, that's the same thing. If at all he would have not brought only, then a further thing would have not happened. But even if he had brought, if he would have been brisk in his Krishna consciousness, if it had been focused, then he could have maybe after taking care of little, he could have simply left the deer. And at some point of time, he had to decide that. Correct? Some point of time. But he couldn't do that, you see. So he became actually attached. He brought to the ashram, became attached. That's what happens. Correct? The same way, like some devotees, when they see that they are getting distracted from the mobile, and they have tendency to keep seeing WhatsApp and all that. Then what some devotees do? Some devotees don't bring only the mobile with them. It's like deer not brought in the Apuna ashram only, something like that. I'm just giving an example like that. If you find something distracted, like that. Because you want to focus on our morning prayer, our chanting and everything, correct? So then we can avoid bringing only something. And and even if you have because of some seva or something other, you may keep it. But then you take a determination that you don't want to keep watching, keep seeing and chanting like that. We don't do that. Correct? So we should be aware that this way my attachment may lead to so much distractions like that. So some whatever detachment is required that time. Okay, whatever comes, doesn't come, I don't have to worry. After I complete my round or after I complete all my rounds, only I'm going to see. Until unless some emergency situation, if you have some services, your manager or something, then you have to keep, and maybe after completing one round, you have to see whose call has come or not. Sometimes that may be part of sale. Sometimes, but you have to be careful. You're getting this point now. One has to be careful because it may be sometimes out of attachment. One may want to just keep watching, keep seeing something. Right. Now, what other factors do you think that would have been important in Bharat Maharaja's case by which he would have got saved? So suppose he has brought the deer to the ashram also and is getting distracted. What else could have happened with him that he could have got saved, but he couldn't get saved? He went on attachment so much, and eventually he died thinking of deer and he became a deer next life. That will come later. What else could have saved him?
He could have tied him
Huh?
outside somewhere. He could have tied him outside somewhere in the mm, nearby place.
No. He died
Material
there.
attachment.
Huh? No, my question,
Even
my
he.
question, here the question. My question is that
Hmm,
what
hmm,
else would have helped Bharat Maharaj to not get
hmm.
so deviated, and become so attached like this to deer, and so much so that dying at at the time of death, also thinking about the deer so badly, and then eventually he is standing up to become a deer next life. So what else could have saved him? Something which would have happened in your life would have saved him. What else do you think? Yes. Okay, I'll put it another way. You are chanting in your room, and you are having mobile, and you watching and you're chanting going on, and the whole chanting is spoiled. You only kept watching only, and whole chanting over like that. Now, what else you could do with yourself by which you can avoid this? This should have not happened to you. Some other thing could have happened. You could have got rectification. What other factors could have rectified you? Yes.
Switch off the mobile.
Yeah, but you're not able to switch on the mobile now. You're becoming attached now. You're not able to even understand also. You're going on. You're not able to get it. That's what I'm saying. Intelligence is covered.
Hmm.
What else could have helped?
uh, Presence of Guru helps, I guess, in our lives. So there's keep
Ah,
our
devotees. Guru, not necessarily all the time Guru,
associations.
but even devotees. If you would have having association of devotees, say you're chanting in the temple or the devotee sangha, then devotee would
Mhm.
have told you, Prabhu, are you chanting or are you chatting? You would have asked.
Hmm.
Then say, oh, Prabhu, sorry, Prabhu. I got carried away. Sorry. And then you start chanting. Correct? So that's why being an association of devotees will help. So Bharat Maharaja's one difficulty was what? He did not have association of devotees. You see, he was doing bhakti, but not having the association. You see, so how
Mm.
association is so important. Sometimes we think, okay, I can chant in my room only. I can do my bhakti, on my own somewhere. But there is a great chance that you may get deviated sometimes. And we may not even know also. See, Bharat Maharaj was in the stage of bhava, preliminary stage of bhava, but he became attached to small deer, not some big thing. A small deer, can you imagine? So
Hmm.
Maya is so powerful. So if you are not surrounding ourselves with devotees, and if you are not allowing devotees to give feedback and help us know to see how we remain safe in our practical devotion service, then we are in danger. You getting this point? Then our position is dangerous. So that's what it is. So association of devotees is must for anyone who is performing devotion service, especially in Kali Yuga, especially. And Bharat Maharaj was not in Kali Yuga, he was in a different age itself. He did not have much distraction. Even then Bharat Maharaj got distracted. And that also from a deer, with a deer. So how Maya is powerful, you can see. So how much more we have to be careful to perform devotion service in association of devotees. That's why we have morning program in temple. All devotees come to temple and regularly. They together they chant together, they kirtan together. We have classes, so it becomes easy for us to focus. Yeah. Question: what is your opinion about Bharata's care for the deer? Hmm.
Third one, caring for the deer was perfect, but not worthy at the cost of spiritual life.
Yeah, but what about second?
Fourth is also there. His care aroused material attachment to deer, making him get distracted from spiritual life.
Yeah, and what about
And second one is also correct.
yeah, yeah, he could have not brought also. That is also true. Or even if you would have brought, you would have simply, maybe just little bit made it comfortable and let it go eventually. You would have been focused. So that's what devotion service should never lose our track. So Bharat lost track itself, track of what he's doing. That's why we have sadhana's chart and everything. So we can keep looking back what I'm doing, how I'm doing. Am I deviating or I'm doing properly? What is happening in my life? So this kind of introspection is very good. And it's better to have some devotees. That's why we have sadhana chart over. Hemant Prabhu is putting sadhana chart for all the devotees. Hopefully they're sitting also. I don't know. And then you can show the sadhana chart to your superiors. Then by that you feel that oh somebody is watching you. So somewhere we are going here and there wrong, which you may not understand. Bharat Maharaj was not able to understand, you see. So we also may not understand sometimes where we are heading to. Are we in the right, wrong track and all that? Sometimes we may not be very clear. So it is good that if we have some kind of sadhana chart and we have certain accountability, then they will tell you, okay, this is okay, this is not okay, whatever it is. Do like this, do like that. And if there is some kind of discrepancy, they will tell us like that. It is good that some idea you will get how we should remain safely situated and go on the ocean surface. It is not micromanagement, but it is like overall some understanding, some principles of the overall you're going in the right track. Like some way we should rather understand. And that helps. So the sadhana chart may reflect how much when you're getting up and you're sleeping, what is reading, hearing, and all that. Accordingly, you'll get to understand that. And also we can ask sincere, honest question: how about the quality of my chanting? And why I'm becoming late in night? Can I not manage my life in such a way that I can sleep earlier, can come in the morning? So all these things can be then thought of. Otherwise, we'll never come to know. We're just going on our own. So association does not mean just having devotees around. Association also means to be able to reflect with the help of devotees what is happening in our life and ask sincere questions and see how we can make some kind of changes like that. So they say now the submissive inquiry, then knowledge transfer and heart transformation. There should be some spiritual discussion, knowledge transfer, and heart transformation. So this is the complete loop of association. The association does not mean just being together. It also means submissive oral reception. Then you receive knowledge. Then your heart is transformed. And what's in your spiritual discussion, knowledge transfer, heart transformation. Yes, Prabhu. Go ahead further. What is your opinion?
What is
What is
your opinion about TV, movies, smartphones, and media use in modern times?
hmm.
B. They ruin our academic due to overuse. I'll carefully use them and focus on spiritual life.
Even D is correct.
Hmm? Which one?
Yeah, D is also correct.
Mm.
I'll not let them distract me from spiritual life as dear distracted Bharat. I'll use them with caution and care in Lord's service and for my academics, not for spoiling my life.
Yeah, correct. Both are correct. It's true. So actually, that is correct. People are becoming impersonal. Keep limited use, fine. But the goal is not to just enjoy life with friends and family. Goal is that we remain focused on our spiritual life. That bit is not fully correct. Because read this human life. Stressful.
Yes, human life is meant for controlling our mind and senses, engaging in them, service to Supreme
No,
Lord.
engaging them in service to Supreme Lord.
Yeah, to purify our art and go back to Godhead. Animals gratify their senses, simply eating, sleeping, mating, and fighting and defending for food and sex. Human body is like Mercedes Benz, meant to ply in the smooth road of self realization. Animal body is like tractor, meant for sense gratification and hard labor. Thus, the human being is given all facilities for a comfortable life by the laws of nature. Because of human life, human form of life is more important and valuable than animal life. Why is a judge given 10 times salary as a clerk who works hard putting rubber stamp in the court? The answer is that a judge has to discharge duties of higher nature. Similarly, the duties human beings have to perform are higher than those of animals. But if a human spends his entire life gratifying his senses like animals, he is called the killer of the soul. However, even though Bharat was aware of these considerations, he thought of himself, because this deer has taken shelter of me, how can I neglect it? Even though it is disturbing my spiritual life, I cannot ignore it. To neglect a helpless person who has taken shelter of me would be a great fault.
We can just stop here. Yeah. So judge given 10 times salary as a clerk, works hard putting the rubber stamp. The answer is that just to discharge duties of a higher nature. Same way, human form of life is meant for higher duties. So
Hmm.
the duties human beings have to perform are higher than those of animals. But if they are only living like animals, then they are called Atmaha. Atmaha means killer of the soul. Yeah, because they are not doing the real business, that is to invade the soul. They are only busy after Sanjay duties. So the judge is supposed to perform the higher duties. Same way, uh, and he is rewarded also. Same way, human form of life is meant for higher duties, and that's why we are rewarded with the spiritual kingdom. So even though Bharat was aware of this condition, he thought to himself, because this deer has taken shelter of me, how can I neglect it? He's thinking. See, they was having some kind of understanding, but intelligence gets covered. You see, so he's telling even though it is disturbing my spiritual life, I cannot ignore it. Remember, this person who has taken shelter of me would be a great fall. So he is like telling that how Bharat Maharaj was knowing the preparations about the goal of life and everything was there, correct? But still this thought that, oh, somebody's come take shelter of me, how can I neglect it? So this thought is born out of his good quality, correct? His compassion. So, but that became the cause of his further entanglement. He had to become dear. So, so these things may become weakness sometimes if you are not careful. That's why we have to be very careful in our devotion service. We should not just go by feelings and emotions. We have to be very, very careful that what is the right way of doing things as per Guru Sahib Shastra. Sometimes, uh, if there is some somebody comes for this, I give the example of some girl wanting to take shelter like that. So, like there was one boy, who was in company and he wanted to be a brahmachari. I think Gaurang Sahib wanted brahmachari. Then This girl became very much fascinated by his good advice, and so she asked some questions and he would give answer. Then girl was very much happy. And then once what happened, then this girl's father or mother somebody expired, and she was devastated. And then she wanted to take, and then of course then the boy gave some more time, more wisdom he shared and all that. The girl was more pacified. And then this girl told her, I know now my father also is passed away. I need some. Maybe can you just marry me? This boy said, "Hey, I am Garan Sawaf." So means I want to join Ashram. And then immediately, you know, left and he changed the company or something like that. And he was and he said, "Baba, I cannot." So sometimes it's so difficult that girls may be sometimes so emotional. They may say that I want to come to society. We don't marry in the city. That will become a problem for that boy. He was in Brahmacharya. He did not have any tension like that. He just was helping like that, but it may happen this way. So attachment is sometimes two-way attachment. Sometimes human may be get attached to somebody, and sometimes that thing also may become attached to you. That person become attached to you. Attachment to women is that way so dangerous. It may be two-way. Like you may be attached to laptop, you can give up laptop. Oh, laptop will not attach to you. That is much easier. But attachment to women, family members, sometimes it is double way. Even if you want to come out of it, they may pull you back also. It's a possibility like that. So that's how the attachment to women and family members are sometimes it could be more dangerous because it's two-way attachment, not just one way. Attachment to thing is like one way attachment. So he thought himself, because these are things from me, how can I neglect it? So because he was a king and he had a tendency to give shelter, and he was a saintly king. So he was having this thought. So Maya, see how Maya is so subtle that particular right thing is actually a good quality of the king. But that became his weakness. That's why the sufficient detachment was required. So even though it is disturbing my spiritual life, I cannot ignore it. So no, disturbing spiritual life, then he could have done some modification accordingly in his practice and his knowledge. He could have like as some of you mentioned, he could have left the sheep with some other group, or if not, at least for even if for some days, but he should be strict with his morning and sadhana and everything. And then in daytime, you may little bit see that how the deer is getting cured and all that. And once it's quite good, then you could have just left the jungle along with other deers. Could have done that, but he did not do so. Okay, we'll stop here now, and we'll see the question answer next class. Stop. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.